I felt like I should record this story in a little bit of lower light. It would almost be the kind of thing that you would light a candle to tell this story of what I believe was an amazing angel encounter that I had, and it occurred in Las Vegas. Heck of a story, and it's a story that could have had a really super tragic ending with unknown consequences if my guardian angel had not stepped in, or some force of good. As many of you know, I've been working at St. Joseph's Church in Las Vegas to help them restore the church. Nobody asked me to do it. There was a simple message in a bulletin. We're always looking for people to do maintenance projects. I thought, well, the only thing I'm good at in life is using my two hands, so I started to get involved. And Father Creer, who you met on an earlier video, was like, well, if you see something, take care of it. If you see something, do something, right? So it's kind of a self-guided mission. So many of you have participated and have been tremendously kind and generous with not only monetary donations, but also spiritual support too. And I really appreciate that. It has been wonderful. And in early July, I will be heading down to do the bathroom, also try to address the signboard. It's probably going to be a 2 to 3 week mission coming up. So I'm appreciative in advance for anything that comes my way. Now, as you know, I was painting the church the last time, and the last day I thought I would have 4 days to do the painting, and it ended up I had to squeeze it into 3 days, and it was really physically draining for me. But on the last day, and one thing that I always made sure to do was once the mass was over in the morning or whatever, if they had a baptism, the doors would always be locked, the main doors to the church, just as a matter of course, just standard operating procedure, okay? Just know that ahead of time. The big wooden doors that I re-oiled down there and fixed up a little bit, okay? So I'm in the back of the church. It's my last day down there, and I am inside doing the rolling of the walls, the last thing, and just really starting to get tired. So I started to see some spots I missed in other places. So I took the ladder around to say the right side of the church near the statuary. And while I'm up there, it's about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of a sudden, the door of the church, one of the two big, heavy wooden doors, comes flying open. I mean, flying open. And there came a huge swirl in the church, right in the center aisle. I mean, it was a huge swirl, like a mini tornado, that gathered in leaves and some junk from the street and swirled it up into what looked like unbelievably like a mini twister. And I'm up on my ladder, and I'm like, oh, good Lord, right? What's going on, right? It looks like a tornado going up the aisle of the church. So I jump down from my ladder, and I go to the back door of the church. And I, walk outside the door. I kind of dodge a little mini tornado. Outside, it's like the end of the world. There is a tremendous windstorm taking place with a little bit of rain. One of these late afternoon, like it might rain, but it doesn't because it's too dry, but it's very windy, like a thunder squall without rain and without thunder, but very heavy wind. As I go out the door and I look to my left, I see the very dark clouds. I look a little to my right. Guys, my van, Little Rascal, is starting to move down the street. Starting to move down Ogden Street, which is in front of the church. The van is locked. right? Because I had locked the van, and all of a sudden I see the van rolling down the street. Of course, I run over to the door. I can't open it. At this point, thank goodness, I had a screwdriver in my hand. Thank goodness at this point, I put the butt end of the screwdriver under the front tire, laid with all my might on the car to stop it from rolling down the street. And all of a sudden, Father Creer came out of the church. What's going on? And at first, I thought, oh, somebody's stealing my van, right? But it's locked. So I run in and I get the keys. I run down, I open the door. The car is still moving and it's starting to pick up. Well, it wasn't really moving, but it was trying. The wind was blowing so hard, it was trying to overcome this little screwdriver, butt end of the screwdriver, and keep rolling. Guys, if that church door had not opened and that wind, and I had not been there on that ladder, and that little twister tornado had not occurred, I would have never even known that my van was rolling down the street. My van could have killed people, because as that street, Ogden Street, goes, it starts to dip towards the valley out there, Boulder Highway, going towards that direction, and it starts to go downhill. That van, picking up speed, could have done incredible damage. The strangest thing of all is that back door is always locked. Why? Because people just would wander in off the streets and perhaps bust things up. Who knows, right? Things have been destroyed, signs and things like that. And I just think to myself, how did that door get unlocked? And number two, was that my guardian angel whipping open that door to let me know that my van was going down the street like a potentially lethal bomb to take out people? Really something to think about. Really something to click into your mind and contemplate. How strange sometimes that inexplicable things can happen. Miracles could very well be. One thing's for sure, I knew that I was very blessed that day and very lucky, because as I say, my car could have been a lethal weapon to take people out. What I actually had done is left it in drive when I got out and locked it. Something I rarely, don't think I've really done before, so that's strange in itself. But I was really saved by some force that came and opened that door wide and swirled that little twister into the church to not only alert me, but also Father Creer running out too. So, do you believe in angels? Well, I sure do now. There's my angel story. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you've had an experience, put it down in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you, and thumbs up are really appreciated. Thanks, everybody.